educate them. Me say educate them. Cause every child must learn, every child can learn. Every child must learn, every child can learn. In Jamaica we know things rough and a lie, but Jaja a guide. In him we abide. Now we have some pride. And we do a fi hide, we do a fi hide, we do a fi hide.
People, if you never know, then come follow me. Let me tell you what I got in every country. Everything about those who come before we. We can't help, but we have to think positively. And we want to live in love and unity. We just grab the tune from Bob Marley. One love, one on. Let's get together. Feel alright. It's all good inside. It's all good inside. Our mother eats say one people out of many. We live up what we big in our versatility. Like we name some of them more healthy shape. We have George Marcus and Bustamante. He was we are teaching responsibility. More touches the root with love poverty. What you feel Anton with Louis Pen. You say Ellen and Irma Tenley. What a feeling nice when pot cover lip. Let's take it for make we all shake your body. If you want to express to the artistry, go and go and roll up in a man. It's all good inside. It's all good inside. Me see the big chef with Grace Kennedy. Jamaica and make it in a culinary. We have festival like curry and dembe. And festival squad in a Trelawney. It's all good inside. It's all good inside. No respect to those who come before we. Look out, myself and never have things like we. No TikTok, no Twitter and no IT. Yet them we still a promote the country. All over the world people know we Irish. So come make we live up to this big legacy. It's all good inside. It's all good inside. It's all good inside. It's all good inside.
Every child can learn, every child must learn. Educate the youth for we culture. Teach the youth for we culture. The black, the green, that a we culture. And the gold too. Oh yes, that a we culture. Blue jazz, that a we culture. Greater cake and jazz, that a we culture. The soup, the banga, that
Testing for sound. Am I being heard?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Great. Thank you.
Sí, buenos días, sí.
Johnson, and I never see you. Commit to you. But wait, I can't hold your hand. I don't have the sanitizer. I'm back up a bit social distance. You remember before the pandemic? We could sit together with our friends. We could hug for so long. We could share snacks. We could see the smiles and the expressions. Those are the different times. Hi! Social media is where we now socialize. Most of the communication is now done with our eyes. Who would have thought that our lives would have drastically changed? Our lives have been rearranged. Ministry of Education says to educate Jamaica. So make sure you're going to school, whether it's online or face-to-face, because everyone can learn and everyone must learn. Work from school, work from home. Don't bother stress. Don't get depressed. We know it's hard. But even though it gets bad on the outside, make sure safe. What Montana said, it's all inside.
Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright.
Dr. Taylor Campbell, on the YouTube, students are saying they cannot hear clearly.
Okay, all right. I'm
They're
gonna turn
asking us
up the
to turn
volume.
up the volume. Yeah,
Yes, thank you. All right.
you're welcome.
Winner day, you remember we all friend who that? Tajay, we get a new message. You know what for hear? Tajay, just tell winner girl, alright. Rubber shop, we need food do that, we're not broke. So I guess not. But a Tajay.
So what?
Oh, you fist no. And we coulda get a new phone, Lord God. Guys, make up on no mind is either yes or no. Y'all are taking up my time, okay? It's your job, girl, bye. Anyways, we should go. Imagine how happy you would feel. It really doesn't matter if we lie and steal. Money come in, me too, it would be fun. The feel of getting caught, boy. You're done. Tell him yes, hurry up, wait. I am here. Here we go again. Give thanks without me. She'd be at a pig pen. Excitement. Is it really worth it? You're 16. Throw your life in the dirt, eh? The thrill of getting caught, suppose them catch you. Guys, listen up. I know it is hard to fight against your feelings and everything you want, but lying to your parents, you should be loyal to them, be responsible. Don't break under the pressure. Your parents won't guide you forever, and the stealing, do I need to talk about that? You could go to prison, and you know it's wrong. Guys, you know what is wrong and right. It's time to decide. It's all good inside. Alright. Girls, pack it up. Come on next time. Bye. Educate Jamaica. Breaking news, come fast. What tell winner there?
Celebrating Jamaica, building character, hearts through the arts.
Massive greetings to one and all. From left to right. Nation builders, music performers, art creators of our nation. The humble lion, Shellyan, the astonishing one, man, the caring and elegant, the wisdom, humorous, extravagant, show good attitude to build up a nation. Put Jamaica upon the map from year one. Emancipate yourselves from being bad characters. Live a life that is love. Don't gain the world and lose the soul. Positivity is better than silver. Morning, everybody. Good morning, Louis. Wealth, recognition, and our ability on things you can pick in railway market. You check icons, banners, superhumans or something. It's literacy, it is and turning of poetry. It's practice, shiny practice for fast. Boxing and player, him guitar. And I let's turn into her paintings. You check if the look make we make it. It's hard work, determination, and grit. Tandem in a diligent shoot too. Yeah, but they are still dead. I lick people's shoes. This is long time, girl, me never see you. Come make we win and four major art forms are artistry, music, prose, and dance. These art forms relay their experience in a highly salient way. They convey the changes of the world, which in and of itself is a form of art.
Fontana is all good inside. Fontana is all good.
Electrify your metabolism back to teenage levels by eating 1/2 teaspoon of this with ice water and burning fat like you're still in high school. Every adult human or
I thought we were humans. I thought we were the same. But that was until the mockery came. Seen as a target, I was confused. Their words of stone struck hard and bruised. Then I understood that I was different, but I was shook at what this meant. You don't know me. You've never tried. So what keeps you from searching deep inside? Is it the wheelchair, my absent speech, how I don't hear, or how I don't see? I deserve my dignity. I want my pride. But you took it, and you can't deny it.
Jamaica, do better than that, no man. Show a little compassion to the disabled. Not because she artistic, so she can learn. Every child can learn, every child must learn. MOE said that. Look on her work. You know, say she have worth, Jamaicans. You know, not one accident can cause you to be disabled. Treat people as they want them to treat you, know. We are one Jamaica. Stop calling them names. Them have a name. Them have a name, them have a name, them have a name. No call them one, no call them lame. No call them retard, nor insane. Hey, them have a name. Them have a name. Them have a name, them have a name, them have a name.
Fantana! It's
Put a little pep in your step by adding some physical activities to your daily routine. You'll feel better, look better, and learn easier. My name is Elton Johnson, Education Officer with responsibility for physical education and sport.
Put a little pep in your step by adding some music to create your study environment. This will relax your mind. Any genre will do, and that surely will help you along the way. My name is Matthew Silpot, Music Education Officer in the Ministry of Education and Youth.
Put a little pep in your step by adding a little drama while you study. You can create stories, poems, or even do role plays of the material that you are trying to remember. I am Dion Somers Campbell, the drama officer in the Ministry of Education and Youth.
Put a little pep in your step by ensuring that you're engaged in the physical activities, you include the music, and of course, you're engaged in the drama. I am Marlon Williams, head of the Performing Arts section here in the Ministry of Education and Youth. Of course, we have to exercise a sense of patriotism. And so first, we will begin with the national song for schools. And this will be sung by the National Teachers Chorus.
So how are we going to prepare for this thing?
Yes. How do you prepare for PEP? Yeah, well, first of all, I
Put
would
up
say,
You know, exams just kind of always brought the sense of trepidation and fears, you know. But what we want to encourage our grade 6 students and even grade 5 students and parents and teachers is that it does not have to be this grueling process that comes with such fear. We want people to be able to relax while they study.
and I like the good term relax, because I just want to say to the teachers and students that physical activity is very, very important in your preparation.
It's true.
Because it gets rid of that pent-up energy.
That's true.
So don't.
And the anxiety that they would never
And the
do, right?
anxiety as well. Well, I'm happy that you said, you know, but you included not just the students, but the parents as well. Because sometimes.
The parents are doing exams.
The parents are more anxious than the students.
They're
pepping. And sometimes you know, because of that reality, sometimes as a result of the anxiety, the parents are, you know, displaying the students themselves.
Energy as well. Get that energy.
Get that energy as
You
well.
know, I've seen situations where the students are so chill, so laser where.
That's my daughter.
No, I have
She's doing PEP right now.
Yeah, but I had a son in PEP last year, and honestly, little boy didn't care. Like he was not anxious at all. But as parents, we are the ones thinking that, oh, why aren't you doing more? And you know, it's all of this, right? And
Are they not doing enough?
honestly, it creates so much tension and anxiety. But
Prepare yourself to put on the PEP. I understand what is happening, all right.
all right, so we'll go now to the National School Year.
And so at this time, we will have the welcome, and the welcome will be done by Mr. Sadford Bennett, the Assistant Chief Education Officer, Head of the Curriculum Unit.
To our students, teachers, parents, and all stakeholders in education. Welcome to our first activity in our PEP Camp 2023 series. Since 2019, PEP has been a buzz term in the Jamaican education system. The primary exit profile is designed to assess performance of students as they progress through the primary education system. This design is meant to ensure that schooling experience is rich, connects with the experiences of students, and builds the necessary skills for future learning. It is therefore important that all our stakeholders assist in preparation of our students through adequate exposure to the national standards curriculum, familiarization with the structure and demands of the assessment, as well as the mental and psychological preparedness for the examination room environment. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Youth, I take great pleasure in welcoming you all to what shall be a most fulfilling and rewarding experience.
So I hope that you all really and truly feel welcome. But there is no way we can continue the day without officially welcoming the presence of the Lord with us. Of course, that is how we do things here in the Ministry of Education. And we know that in school, that's a part of your daily practice. So with that said, we will invite the students of the Gregory Park Primary School to introduce us and welcome the Lord. Let's have the worship.
Pleasant morning, everyone. The members of staff, the board, and the students of Gregory Park. We're pleased to be participating in this morning's activity. We're going to be leading out in our devotional exercise, and we will begin by singing the hymn, Immortal Invisible, called Only Wise. Immortal, invisible, wise, enlightened and sensible. At this time, we will have our scripture reading, and we're going to be inviting Mark and Nadia to join us.
The scripture reading is taken from 2 Timothy 2, verse 15. We will study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. There ended the reading of God's holy word.
Good. And just a thought from the scripture that was read, as we launch this virtual prep camp, I want to challenge our students to be diligent, structured, and disciplined in studying, so you may be approved, which may translate to passing the test, because diligent study will always yield positive results. At this time, we're going to be doing an item to make you feel even more welcome. Next. So that has brought us to the end of our devotional exercise, and from Gregory Park Primary School, I'm Principal Williams. Want to say thank our students, so on, and Miss Edwards, our teachers. We want to say from our school, a little progress each day adds up to big results. Thank you so much. We'll turn you over back to our moderator.
Grade sixers who are preparing for the PEP. I know it's a big. Good morning, everyone. Special good morning to our DCEO, Dr. Flowers, and the curriculum team members, other members from the regional offices who are in this space, all my technical team. Once you're here, I'm sending a big shout out to you and to thank you for making this opportunity available for our learners. Special morning again to our teachers. I know that has been said several times from morning, but I have to give a shout out to you, our teachers. We value you, we appreciate you, and as you know, the system cannot exceed your quality, so we continue to stand on your shoulders every single day. Special morning to our boys and our girls, our grade sixers who are preparing for the PEP. I know it's a big moment for you. It's a deciding moment for you, and it is precisely why we here at the Ministry of Education took the time out to prepare these sessions for you, these camps for you, to help to reinforce what you have been learning at school. Right? This afternoon is set up for you to explore concepts, to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your questions, because there are no stupid questions, so brave up now and ask your questions, and I can assure you other persons in the space will benefit from what you have asked. I want to encourage you also, after this session, I want you to go home and practice what you have learned. Practice makes permanent. So if you want to ensure that you do well and maximize on today's activity, go home and go over the materials and practice. And where you still have doubts, ask your teachers. They are to support you. So I encourage you today, participate fully in this activity. Have fun. Learning is supposed to be fun, and I can guarantee you that you will do well in your exam. Remember the old adage, the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. So that means you can't waste time. You can't pretend that you are studying. You really have to study. You really have to maximize on the time that you have, and I can guarantee you that you will do well. So congratulations again for having signed in, and for those who are in the physical space, thank you for coming out. We are relying on you for your student leadership, and I know your students and friends will be inspired by seeing you here in Central with us. God bless you, team members. Have a well-rounded and successful PEP Camp 2023. God bless you. I thank you.
going to do that 5 minutes okay? Again, in my introduction, I said it was important for you food, physical activity. Now, we're looking at our dress, and this is an indication that you can do your physical activity in whatever you're wearing, not necessarily in your PPE gear. And today we're going to be doing a very simple activity that you can do in your classroom, and I can assure you that the students will enjoy. I'm going to ask also for the teachers to join with us in this physical activity break. All right, students? So I just want you to give me some kind of personal space, please. So make sure that I'm not putting everyone more. Nice. You can step forward. All right? And then you're going to be watching my every move. All right? Very, very simple. You good, everybody? Excellent. Good. So, the first movement that we're going to be doing after, when the music comes in, I'm going to tell you what to do. But first we're going to start with is just walk on the spot. Can you do that for me? Walk on the spot. There is XR. Stop right there. Now, I want for you to do it as well. If you're seated, I want to get up, and we're going to start walking on the spot. So, can we have music? Okay. Looking good. All ready? You sure? Yes, of course, ready. All right, and then we're going to be doing some very, very simple movement. All right, so DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo, DJ Bravo. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows say Bravo, a champion, 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 champion. Everybody know Chris Gale is a champion. Beanie a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bunty is a champion, Holland is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gale is a champion. Don't forget Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion, Serena a champion, Wendy a champion, Shelly a champion, 958 Bolt a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows say Bravo a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows Chris Gale is a champion. Champion, we are real champion. Champion, we are real champion. Champion, we are real champion. Don't vex if your name not called. We have to leave them to buy some ball. We love soca and dancehall. We love cricket and football. Come and dance in a mind in the call. Champion, champion. Every trainee and every young man. Champion, champion. Every busy and every Bajan. Champion, champion. Every trainee and every young man. Champion, champion. Beanie a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bunty is a champion, Follow is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gale is a champion. Don't forget Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion, Serena a champion, Wendy a champion, Shelly a champion, 958 Bolt a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows say Bravo a champion. Champion, 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 champion. Everybody knows Chris Gale is a champion. Down and oh, nice, my champion. Don't move. Yeah. So we're gonna push. Clasp your hands like this. We're gonna push all the way up. All right. Then we're gonna pull down. Nice and gentle. Don't bend it. Just pull it in. No. All right. We're gonna pull to the side. Here. Pull. Nice. Nice. Then here. Great. Now put your right hand out. Follow me. Right hand out. We're gonna place our palm at the elbow and pull across. The elbow straight. Nice and easy. Pull it across your chest. Pull it across your chest. Next side. Here. And pull. Excellent. We're gonna go up. Then up. Bend at the elbow. Then pull down. Bend at the elbow. Pull again. Pull it up.
Nice and easy. Then we're gonna change. We're gonna change to the next side, up here, and pull down. Great. All right, next thing we're gonna put our hands on our hips. Feet apart a little bit wider than shoulder width. Then we're gonna lean to one side. Let's go, let's lean into it. Great, teachers, I can see you doing that. Excellent, looking good. Lean to the other side. Then we're gonna lean forward. Keep those knees straight. And then we're gonna go backwards. Nice and easy, great. So we're gonna turn to our right. And then we're gonna push forward. Nice. Excellent, my champions. Turn again, push forward. Turn and push. Great. All right. How are you feeling? Good. Good. Come on. Excellent. And that, teachers and students, those are some simple activities that you can use to get you refreshed, get your mind sharp and active. I want for you to include it in your daily studies. All right? And now we're going to have Miss Boros. Oh, not Miss Boros. Well, so again, I just want to remind you quickly about the Jamaica Moves in School program. It's very, very important. If you don't see me at your institution as yet, I will be there in the near future. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Testing to make sure I'm being heard. Am I being heard? Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good morning to my champion boys and girls. Good morning, teachers and everyone else who are on the YouTube platform and also in the Zoom room. It is indeed another year for us to prep for PEP. Yes? Now, I want to ask a question. Are you ready? Indeed, we are champion. So we are going to do well this year. So today I have just a few tips that I want to share with you all. And I want to check again to make sure everybody is hearing me. Checking for sound. Am I being heard?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Now, boys and girls, here is the thing. PEP is a big, big thing, you know. But might I say to you, it's just like any other day. Because you do tests at schools, you know, at your school, you have to do end of year tests and Easter tests and tests at different times. But PEP, sometimes we get nervous and stressed out over the fact that it's a big exam, but it's just another day. So here are some things that you can try as you prepare for your PEP exam. How about trying the 25-5 rule? And you might be wondering, Ms. Burrows, what is that? What are you talking about with this 25-5 rule? It means that when you get home in the evenings, or even if you're at school, you work for 20 minutes, you review what you would have done for 5 minutes, and then you take a break for 5 minutes. But for those who can read a little bit longer, you can probably try the 40-10-10, where you read for 40 minutes. You review and test what you'd have read for 10 minutes, and then you take a break for 10 minutes. But it's very, very important that you keep these points in mind. Your break is for movements. It's not to go play your favorite game, because if you should take your break and pull up one of your favorite game on your phone, guess what's going to happen in the 10 minutes? The time is going to run right out. So boys and girls, don't use your 10-minute break to play your favorite game. Also, review work done daily, especially the part that you do not understand. Ask for help. If there was something that you were taught, and you never understood it, ask mommy for help, ask your sister or your brother for help. But if you're at school, ask your teacher for help. Spend more time on your weaker subjects. I love math. Woo, woo. I do love math. But then some of us don't necessarily like the math. If there are areas that you do not understand, boys and girls, ask for help. Spend more time on your weaker areas. And finally, work in an area that is prepared for studying. Try not to let that be in your bed. Because when you get in your bed, your body starts feeling relaxed, like it's bedtime and time to sleep. And we cannot afford to be studying and sleeping. Can you imagine reading and then you just doze off? That doesn't work. So let us try not to study in our bed. Now, what am I suggesting to you to do before your examination? Simple things now. And might I say to you, can you see my boys and my boy and my girl? That's Jack and Jill. And they're going to be doing PEP this year. So here's what Jack and Jill has to suggest to you. What to do before your exam. So you see, the evening before your exam, boys and girls, you need to pack your stuff. Now, this is not like a regular school day where you're going to pack a big knapsack. No. But there are some things that you will need. Your pencil, your timetable, and guys, for those who wear glasses, do not forget your glasses. Make sure you pack them. Before you go to your bed that night, pray. Pray and ask the Lord to help you to rest well and to remember that which you would have studied. And after you pray, ensure that you rest. Now, I know some of us like to go to our beds late, you know. But you see, for PEP, especially the day before exam, let us try our best to go to bed early and get a good night rest. When we wake up in the morning, eat something. I know some of us may be having that googly feeling in our stomach and I'll be like, mommy, I can't eat, or daddy, I can't eat. But if you can even have a fruit or a supplement or something, but do not go to your exam on an empty stomach. And make sure you arrive early. Be on time. Now, what about when you're going to be doing the exam? You're sitting in the room. What then? You see, if you get to school early that morning, which I hope all of us on this platform will, you get to the room early because you get to sit in the room like about 10 minutes before your exam starts. So be seated early. You know, find that little comfortable spot in your chair and see which one works for you. Yes. You're also going to follow all instructions. That is important. Read, and read again, boys and girls. Answer all your questions. And might I pause long enough to say, sometimes when we're doing the exam, we meet up on a question that seems hard and we're like, oh my goodness, I don't know the answer for this one. Put a big mark beside it, you know, use your pencil and mark it and move to the next one. Why is it important to mark it? It means that when you mark it and you finish the paper and you're going through the paper, you will see that mark and remember that you did not do that particular question and answer it at that time. And more than anything else, on the day of your exam, do your best. Now, you see, after exam finish, you see, when exam done, make sure that you have some fun. Do something fun, but always remember the work continues. It's not just one exam you will have to do in your life. So the work continues. Remember, I want you to keep this in mind, you know, you are smarter than you think. So when you go and do your best. All the best with your PEP for year 2023. Thank you, boys and girls, and enjoy the day. Over to you, moderator.
prepare for an exam, it's always so good just to listen to the tips. And it's things that we want you guys to really, really practice and enforce because, you know, we don't want you to go into the exam and just have a meltdown because it's not necessary, right? But we are understanding of the fact that it is a difficult time. So remember the tips and you are going to ensure that you enforce them every single day as you prepare for the exam, during the exam, and after the exam. All right? Thank you so much, Ms. Burrows.
You're more than welcome.
All right, so we have an activity that we want you to try, boys and girls. Now, for this activity, you are going to need a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil to write on. So just a piece of paper and a pen and a pencil. Now, it is very simple. I'll give you the instructions. Each of us will say one line. Of course, our technicians, the audio is very low. The technicians on our end will mute us, so you will not be able to hear us. I hope the technicians are listening. You're going to mute us, so you won't be able to hear us. What you will do is look at our lips very, very carefully and try to figure out what it is we are saying. We're going to say one line each. So Marlon will say one line, I'll say one line, Matthew will say one line, and Elton will say another line. That's 4 lines. And you are going to write down what you think we are saying. Now, the person that is accurate, the person that gets all 4 lines accurately, then that person will be the winner. Now, how are we going to choose the winner? No, you have to raise your hand. So we're going to go with the raise hand feature. All right, so the person, we're going to take it in order. We're just going to take maybe the first 5. And the persons who are closest or would have gotten all 4 would win. I want to see a thumbs up if you understand the instructions clearly. Can I get some?
As a matter of fact, you know, a suggestion came in that what they could do is to actually type it in the chat, so maybe we could check the chat.
The truth is, it's going to be a lot difficult to check the chat because there are like so many persons.
Well, the first one, the first 5 ones, the first 5
that comes in,
the first 5
it's going to come in like, so it's going to be hard to check the 5. All right, so we could do that. We could have the first 5.
Thanks, Renee, for suggesting that.
So listen now, you know, remember that you have to give all 4. So I don't want you to start putting in the chat the first one. You'll be disqualified. You have to get all 4. Are we clear with the instructions? So remember, you're going to look at Mr. Williams, Uncle Marlon. He's going to say a line. Then you're going to look at me. I'm going to say a line. Look at Uncle Matthew. He's going to say a line. Look at Uncle Elton. He's going to say a line. And then you have to type. So guys, so I have my friends on set, you know, and they are ready. But because you're in set and they can hear me, you can't participate in this one.
You can actually mute.
As in mine?
Yes.
No, sir. Unfair advantage.
Yeah, so,
Okay, somebody says that they are ready. All right. So we're going to give you. So remember, our technicians, could you just mute us, please?
And call them down.
All right.
Yes.
Today,
All right, so you have your 4 sentences, lovely sentences. So we're looking in the chat for the persons who can come up with all 4. And no, we are not going to repeat.
Yeah.
So we're checking out the chat.
Because there is.
Or the raise hand feature. Nobody got them.
Nobody. See something in the chat.
Let's check the
But
chat.
the last thing was we are ready. I was busy checking YouTube.
Why were you busy checking YouTube?
Miss Kamak.
Nobody got those? You cannot raise your hands. You're in studio. You heard.
There's a raise hand from Miss Kamak.
No, Miss Kamak.
No, Miss Kamak. No, Charlotte.
No, guys. I was checking YouTube because the students are typing in their answers. And so there's this student who sent in. It's Damelia Matthews James. She says that she says, today is a wonderful day. That's one sentence. And the other one, what did you have for breakfast? Another one, are you ready for your exams? And the last one, you are smart. That's what she said.
It's a very good attempt. It's a very good attempt. You're getting there. We have a number of them that are wrong, so we're gonna give the next person, but if nobody else comes in, then we'll see what we can do for you. So go ahead, Miss Kamok. What else is in the chat?
All right, let me go again. That's one. Holmes, I think it is, says, today's a wonderful day. What did you have for breakfast? Are you ready for exams? You are smart. Have a wonderful week.
Which is wrong.
Can we get a little bit more volume for Miss Kamok?
Well, the wrong answer is there as well for true.
Another person, 2 best friends, says, today is a wonderful day. Champions, love you guys. And 4, you are my champion.
Could you go again with that, Miss Kamok? Because I'm not hearing.
One person that her name or his name is 2 best friends. Says sentence 1 is, today is a wonderful day. 2, champions. 3, love you guys. 4, you are my champions.
I'm struggling. Can I get some more volume on?
Hold on, let's see if we can bring out the volume. We're going to get some feedback issues.
Charlotte, could you read those again?
All right, so try Excel says 1, today is a wonderful day. Sentence 2, what did you have for breakfast? Are you ready for your exams? I think that's number 3. And the last one, you are smart. Have a wonderful week.
Okay. All right. We got that. Still not 100% accurate.
Ashanti tried as well. Ashanti Barnett.
We like the fact that you know you are smart. It's not one of the answers, but we like that you're smart.
That's beautiful.
All right. Do we have any more responses, Charlotte?
Yes, Ashanti Barnett. I can't read everyone, but Ashanti Barnett says, today is a wonderful day. Number 2, what did you have? What did you eat for breakfast? 3, are you ready for exams? And 4, you are champion.
All right. Getting closer. So we have 3 out of the 4. So write that one down for us, Charlotte, that this person had 3 out of the 4.
That's
We're still looking for that one that is missing. All
right, good job, Ashanti.
So that's 75%. I
Yes.
was testing my math here.
You're testing the math.
So that's 75% of the answer, right?
Yes.
All right.
Uncle Marlon is ready for PEP. He's ready for PEP. He's pep in his step. All right, come on, guys, put a pep in your step. Come on, let's get some more responses.
We have the hands on the stage.
You guys are not allowed to answer. No.
Because we heard it, you heard it.
All right, Charlotte, do you have another response?
Out of fun sake.
Renification, I think the name is. Number 1, today is a wonderful day. 2, what did you have for breakfast? 3, are you ready for exams? 4, you are my champion.
We're still having a problem with one of these, you know.
All right.
Another 75%, yeah.
All right, another one. You don't know me. That's the name of the person. 1, today's a wonderful day. 2, what did you have for breakfast? 3, are you ready for exams? And 4, you are smart.
You are smart.
Coming up so often.
Yeah, your smart is coming up so often. You know what I'm thinking, guys? I think the problem might be with 2 of the persons who were saying their lines. Maybe 2 persons were very, very clear with their body language, facial expression, you know.
Because you keep getting that, I mean, those 2 correct.
There are 2 that are just on point every time, and there are 2 that's just a little bit.
All right, let me read let me read one last one from the Pug Major or something like that. 1, today's a wonderful day. 2, what did you have for breakfast? 3, you are my champions. And 4, get ready for exams.
You should see the reaction from a studio audience.
In studio. Probably should get one of them. Ask them.
You know what? You want to help them out? Yeah. All right. So can you flick camera to my studio audience? They really want to help out and tell what it is they heard here in studio. Go ahead. So 1, 2,
What did you have for breakfast?
3,
Music is a gift.
4.
You are my champion.
So, yes. So apparently, the problem was lying somewhere there in number 3.
You never catch one bit.
Not even one word. Nobody heard anything about music. So number 3 was actually music is a gift. All right. So Ms. Kamok, so we had somebody with 75% accuracy. So remember, what you're looking for in number 2 is what did you have for breakfast and not what did you eat for breakfast. All right. So the person that said what did you have for breakfast and you are my champion, along with what did you say again? Today's a wonderful day. That's the person that will receive the prize. Could just ensure that you know the person's correct name and the school that they attend, and we will ensure that you get your gifts.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so before we move to the Jamaica Day promotion, let me just remind our audience that while this session will not be a very lengthy one today, that we're having what we call a working lunch. And so we will not be breaking for lunch, but while the session, is progressing, your teachers can arrange for you to, have lunch, during this time. All right, so we're not breaking, but you can have lunch while you participate in this process.
Nice. So on to a Jamaica Day promotion.
You can't steal the fruit, not the root. Cause the youth.
All right, so we're coming in with the chorus kind of party. Ready?
All right.
You can't water down and dilute. You can't hide the truth from the youth. You can't steal the fruit, not the root. Cause the youth.
We're actually at the banana lunch break right now. So thing about it is that
we're practicing.
Oh, sorry.
It's
practice
studio time.
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
we're in the
So
middle of a shot.
what do you practice for?
Jamaica Day?
Yeah, Jamaica Day. First of all, when is Jamaica Day?
To be honest, Jamaica Day is normally celebrated the last Friday in February every year. But this year, because of Ash Wednesday and the midterm break, we're celebrating on March 3.
Oh, you don't know this?
I knew that. No. But tell me. So, all right, so what that have to do, this time of year on our practice, what that have to do with Jamaica Day?
The theme.
What's the theme?
Celebrating Jamaica from the
root to the fruit.
So the $1 million question, what the root to the fruit mean?
Look here, that theme is so dynamic, it can mean anything you want it to mean. Now, everything that we can think of has a beginning, right?
True.
And of course, if it has a beginning, it naturally progresses into something else.
A product. True.
A product, love that. So when I think about it, If you have positive roots, then you have gonna have what kind of fruits?
Positive fruits.
Positive.
Maybe we should get back to rehearsing to Jamaica. But seriously, Jamaica Day, we celebrate in Jamaica from the root to the fruit. So everything that we have in its origin and what we have managed to produce as a nation. It's so good.
All right, great. I love that. So guess what now? Most times where Jamaica Day is concerned is mainly the schools that say involved. So how can my company, because I'm going to talk to my boss now, how can my company get involved? I mean, let us say I represent corporate Jamaica. How I can get involved in Jamaica Day?
Well, that's the first thing. Notice Jamaica Day. It's not Jamaica Schools Day. It's Jamaica Day. So it's all of Jamaica.
Everybody.
Everybody in
Yes.
Jamaica. So, as a business person, you can get involved in ensure. You know what will be good? Looking at the root of your organization to the fruits of your organization. And then we can decorate our buildings. We can have persons representing different things about us.
Showcasing what you do for your Jamaica. Yeah.
On the day.
On the day.
All
On the
right.
day.
So guess what then? For Jamaica Day 2023, we are celebrating Jamaica
From
the roots to the fruit.
All right, I hope you've been enjoying yourself so far. We did some activities. Now it's a little time for a little brain teaser. And I hope my friends on stage are ready as well. Are you ready? All pencils are out? Are ready to go? All right, so we're going to be asking a question. I hope it's going to pop on screen for you to see, and we'll go through it together. How about that? That sound like a plan? All right, are you ready? Yes, sir. Are you ready out there? So here goes. Exercise is to gym as eating is to, here are your options. Food, A, food, sorry. B, dieting. C, fitness. Or D, restaurant. So again, exercise is to gym as eating is to A, food. B, dieting. C, fitness. Or D, helping us as well with that. So how do we go about a question like this, right? Let me lose, right. So you have all the answers. Everybody has answered inside? Everybody has the answer. If you have the answer, put your hand up.
Still unsure.
Unsure?
Put it all the way up. Let us see.
So one need a little time. All right.
A little more time.
Yes.
Okay.
So, all right, put your hand down. I'm going to ask you for the answer in a little bit. So first, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be thinking about how the first pair of words are related. All right? Did you do that? Then we want to look at the next word and choose the word that is also related to that. So the next question will be, what does gym have to do with exercising? That's your first. That's the second question. So let me hear the answers on screen, what we do have. Let's start with you. What was your answer? You have to shout it out. So you had answer option D, letter D. All right, do you have anything?
Hear from them.
Yes?
Tell us, what did you
What did you have? D as well?
No, we have to speak up.
So, yes,
Speak up.
yeah, shout it out.
That's group work.
Restaurant, what about you? Restaurant, what do you have? Restaurant, what do you
What,
I'll give you a second.
Hold on.
Restaurant? Everybody restaurant? I wonder if it's because they're hungry. It's not because you're hungry? No? All right.
All right, so let's check. So you want to explain why, my dear? Say your name. What's your name?
Well,
Alicia. Okay.
from no, Alicia, you're gonna say your name, the school you're from,
Are they here?
and then you're gonna explain,
Open
but you have to
hearing.
speak loudly.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
All
Very
right,
nice,
good
Elisa.
job.
Let's see what's happening on the chat. In the chat, sorry. Do we have any answers out there?
There's a raised
Restaurant
hand.
coming up.
There's a raised hand here.
So we only have two out there. So two responses. We have
Jubilee
Jubilee
Town
Town Primary,
Primary,
Restaurant, and Newstead Primary.
Restaurant.
So guess what? The answer is letter that is after C. So option D. So food is to restaurant. So to complete the question,
Congratulate our YouTube participants because we are also live on YouTube, and we want them to know that they have the opportunity to participate as well. So congratulations to all our YouTube participants who got restaurant as the correct answer.
Very nice.
All right, so we continue because that was verbal reasoning.
Right.
So we continue let me call it the series in verbal reasoning.
Yes.
And at this time, we will have Mr. Bryan and Miss Young will be making a presentation, followed by Mrs. Flinch Vassell.
Hello students, how are you? I'm so glad you were able to join me for another fun and exciting language arts lesson. Now, as you know, the PEP exam is right around the corner. That's right. Now we're going to be focusing on the ability test this time. Now the ability test has several types of questions, but for this activity, we're going to be looking at one specific type of question, and that is the analogy type of question. Now, before we can begin, I want you to ask yourself, what is an analogy? Let's think about it. That's right. An analogy shows a relationship between two or more kinds of things. So, as we're about to go through these questions, I want you to consider this specific question that you would ask yourself in order to arrive at the answer. What is the relationship between these two things? Let me repeat the question that you would ask yourself. What is the relationship between these two things? Once you can identify that relationship, you would now apply that relationship to the new analogy or to the words that you're now showing the relationship between. Are you ready? Let's go. Now let us look at our first example. It says, time is to clock as temperature is to A, heat, B, cold, C, barometer, or D, thermometer. Now, the first thing we must ask ourselves is, what is the relationship between the time and the clock? Let's think about it. What is the relationship between the time and the clock? That's right. To tell the time, I must look on a clock. Or we have to read the clock, as our parents would say, don't it? That's right. So in order to tell the temperature, what must we look at? Or what must we read? Let us look back at our answers. A, heat, B, cold, C, barometer, or D, thermometer. If you guessed thermometer, Hello students, how are you? I'm so glad you were able to join me for another fun and exciting language arts lesson. Now, as you know, the PEP exam is right around the corner. That's right. Now we're going to be focusing on the ability test this time. Now the ability test has several types of questions, but for this activity, we're going to be looking at one specific type of question, and that is the analogy type of question. Now, before we can begin, I want you to ask yourself, what is an analogy? Let's think about it. That's right. An analogy shows a relationship between two or more kinds of things. So, as we're about to go through these questions, I want you to consider this specific question that you would ask yourself in order to arrive at the answer. What is the relationship between these two things? Let me repeat the question that you would ask yourself. What is the relationship between these two things? Once you can identify that relationship, you would now apply that relationship to the new analogy or to the words that you're now showing the relationship between. Are you ready? Let's go. Now let us look at our first example. It says, time is to clock as temperature is to A, heat, B, cold, C, barometer, or D, thermometer. Now, the first thing we must ask ourselves is, what is the relationship between the time and the clock? Let's think about it. What is the relationship between the time and the clock? That's right. To tell the time, I must look on a clock. Or we have to read the clock, as our parents would say, don't it? That's right. So in order to tell the temperature, what must we look at? Or what must we read? Let us look back at our answers. A, heat, B, cold, C, barometer, or D, thermometer. If you guessed thermometer, then you are correct. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job. But how do we know that the thermometer is the answer? Let us look at the options. A, heat. Heat relates to the temperature, don't it? When it's either too hot. Cold. That's relating to the temperature as well. What about barometer? Yeah, that's a totally different instrument. We don't use the barometer to tell the temperature. So the answer then would be thermometer. It's an instrument that we use to tell the temperature. Good job, boys and girls. Let us try another example. This example, or this question rather, says, pumpkin is to vine as pear is to A, bush, B, tree, C, round, or D, trellis. Now remember to ask yourself this question. What is the relationship between these two things? In other words, what is the relationship between the pumpkin and the vine? Let's think about it for a minute. What is the relationship between the pumpkin and a vine? Aha! A pumpkin grows on a vine. So, the relationship that we're going to apply now is to see on what does a pear grow, or where would you find a pear? Let us look back at our answers. A, bush, B, tree, C, round, or D, trellis. Did you find the answer? That's right. A pear would grow on a tree. So, pumpkin is to vine as pear is to tree. Good job, boys and girls. Now we're going to continue on with one more example. By then, I hope you would have gotten the gist of it, how we analyze and how we go through the questions as it relates to analogies. Let's try another example. Broom is to dirt as rake is to A, tool, B, clean, C, leaves, or D, plant. Remember to ask yourself the question, what is the relationship between these two things? So think about it. What is the relationship between the broom and the dirt? I'm giving you 10 seconds. Go ahead. That's right. The relationship is that we use the broom to sweep the dirt. Isn't that so? I'm sure you'd have used a broom at home or at some other point in your life. Now, we're going to apply that relationship. What would we use the rake to sweep? Is it A, tool, B, clean, C, leaves, or D, plant? Well done, boys and girls. It is indeed leaves. We normally use the rake to sweep the leaves around the yard. Good job. Now we are going to try one final question. And I'll be here as you try to find the answer on your own. But let us first look at the question. Web is to spider as nest is to A, bush, B, cat, C, tree, or D, bird. Which is it? Remember to ask yourself this question. What is the relationship between these two things? Now, with that question in mind, can you tell me what the answer is? I'm giving you 1 minute. That's right. It is indeed bird, because the relationship is that a spider lives in a web, or it's a spider web. So therefore a bird lives in a nest. Good job, boys and girls. You did so well. Now it is time to have our, you guessed it, 1 minute party. Are you ready? Yes, let's go. 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party. Give yourselves a round of applause. I hope you learned how to answer the analogy questions in the PEP Ability Test. Join me next time when we will look at another type of question for the PEP Ability Test. See you soon.
Hi there, boys and girls. We will be using some of the concepts we learned about in social studies to develop our thinking skills. Let's go. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to arrange the following activities in the order in which you do them every day. Leave home for school, get out of bed, get dressed. What is the correct order? Okay, boys and girls, the correct order, of course, what do you do first? Get out of bed, then you get dressed, and then you leave for school. Now, based on what you just did, can you tell what is a sequence? A sequence is a set of things that are arranged or done in a particular order. Sequencing is a part of our daily lives. We do things in a sequence every day. Now let's sequence the events that are involved in relief rainfall. There is a diagram. Now let's use the arrows on the diagram to help us to sequence the events. There is a red arrow just above the sea. It is pointing upwards, which tells me something is rising. Great. The first thing is warm air rises. Then there is another arrow moving up the hillside towards the clouds. Clouds are connected to condensation. So next in the sequence is air cools and condenses. And then finally, rainfall. How did we solve this problem? We used the clues from the diagram to help us. So boys and girls, you can use clues from diagrams and pictures to help you to answer questions and solve problems. Now I have a challenge for you. The sequence can continue. Tell me what happens after the rainfall. Now I have a challenge for you. The sequence can continue. Tell me what happens after the rainfall.
There's a B word.
Now I have a challenge for you. The sequence can continue. Tell me what happens after the rainfall.
Okay, good stuff.
Yes,
good stuff.
very
right?
interesting.
What was your favorite part?
I feel a little ready.
You feel ready?
Yeah.
For pep?
Yes.
Want the pep up a step?
Yeah,
Put the pep in
probably.
your step.
Yeah.
You know, I love the language. I love the analogy.
Yep.
I love the analogy pieces, honestly.
Now I have a challenge for you.
You guys are blessed, you know.
The
When we were
sequence
going
can
on,
continue.
This at all.
we didn't have these lovely, beautiful things to help us
Common
to understand.
entrance, common entrance.
I mean, it was good, you know. It was good for what it was, but you know, I love the fact that they are learning to reason.
Yeah.
We understand why things happen the way they happen. You know, there's a logical.
Critical. And I see my friends on set reasoning things out.
Yeah, man, they figure it, right, guys?
Yeah.
You're reasoning it out and you're figuring it out, right? And that is exactly what we want you guys to be doing during PEP. But of course, we've been doing a lot of talking from morning, and we want to give you a chance to just chill and relax. So we are gonna move now to a drumming item from the Greater Portmore Primary School. Let's give it up for Greater Portmore Primary. Woo!
All right, so we thank Greater Portmore Primary for that item. Now, there's another trivia. If I say, and we're moving into quantitative reasoning, and I want to ask my studio audience, when we talk about quantity, what comes to mind? Yes?
Go ahead.
Amount.
Shout it out.
You have to shout it out, you know.
Amount or a lot. Exactly. So, of course, what I'm going to be moving on to next has something to do with mathematics. And so look at your screen, boys and girls, and you're supposed to be seeing a, and the numbers which number should come next? So let me repeat, even though you're seeing it, we have 201, then 202, then 204, followed by 207. Which number should come next? Is it A, 205, B, 208, or C, 210, or D, 211? Pattern that you're seeing.
YouTube
Ms.
is
Kabak is
lit.
there checking the chat.
YouTube is lit.
Yeah, YouTube is lit.
Alrighty. So I'm seeing
What's going on with Zoom?
The correct number.
Well, let's hear from our
But
studio
let's
audience.
hear from the studio audience. Yes.
So she was first.
Okay.
So you're gonna tell us your name.
Shout
We
it
all
out.
know you're from Greater Portmore, so tell us your name and then tell us the answer you came up with, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about how you arrived at that answer. We can't hear you, baby girl. You have to speak up.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We're going to ask somebody else. If you have the same response, the same answer, then don't give me the answer, but tell me what is the pattern? What did you notice? And the gentleman who is to the end, talk to me, sir.
Just speak loudly. Tell us your name and then tell us how you came up with the response.
If Papa can stand up, say
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
Somebody else wants to try an explanation as to you have a different way
good
of
job.
explaining it.
Mhm.
But good job, thank you. You want to go? The
Exactly.
same explanation.
Right.
All right. Everybody has that same explanation. Okay.
Okay, so the first, what you're saying is that in the very first instance, it was raised by 1. The second time it was raised by 2. The third time it was raised by 3. So automatically, the next number is supposed to be raised by 4. Hence, the answer is 211. And of
Nice.
course, like we agreed, the live, that it was lit, and everybody got the correct answer.
Yeah,
Good job.
YouTube.
All right.
I don't think I saw anybody. I think I saw maybe one
206,
person who said C,
Yeah.
210. One person I saw with that response, but everybody else had 200. And
Very
so,
nice.
you know what this is saying to us, guys?
Pep is bright.
They are ready. They already have a pep in their step.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
everybody that we have on chat is looking good, guys.
Yes.
So we are proud of you. You're doing well. You are pepping.
All right, great. And so I started the series, I'm going to refer to it as that, on quantitative reasoning. And to continue, we will have the mathematics team, followed by science.
Hello students, welcome to our mathematics session. I am your facilitator, Bridget Shaw. Today, we will look at a question from the quantitative reasoning component of the primary exit profile PEP ability test. Our focus will be on estimation. Here is a question for you. Mary estimated 18,000 people are at a concert. Which of the following numbers could not be the number of people at the concert? A. 17,899. B. 18,050. C. 18,101. Or D. 18,987. Do you know how to answer this question correctly? Let us do it together. Our ability to estimate is being tested. We need to find out which of the numbers, when rounded to the nearest thousand, does not give 18,000. This question type requires us to evaluate each option given. Do you know how to round off numbers to the nearest thousands? Let us quickly round off each option to see which number, when rounded to the nearest thousand, does not give 18,000. Let us use a number line to help us decide. A. On the number line, the number 17,899 will fall between 17,000 and 18,000. 17,899 is closer to 18,000 than 17,000. Therefore, option A, 17,899, could be the number of people at the concert. B, 18,050. On the number line, the number 18,050 falls between 18,000 and 19,000. 18,050 is closer to 18,000 than 19,000. Therefore, option B, 18,050, could be the number of people at the concert. C, 18,101 on the number line falls between 18,000 and 19,000. 18,101 is closer to 18,000 than 19,000. Therefore, option C, 18,101, could be the number of people at the concert. Option D, 18,987. By elimination, we can deduce that our correct answer must be between 18,000 and 19,000. 18,987 is closer to 19,000 than 18,000. Therefore, 18,987 could not be the number of people at the concert. Therefore, the correct answer to our question is D. I hope you were able to follow along as we figured out this question together. That's all we have right now. Until next time, keep practicing.
Welcome students to our ability test preparation session. Today we continue to look at quantitative reasoning under the category of comparing quantities. Right, are you ready? Let's go. So this is the question. We're told that numbers 1 through 10 are placed in a bag, and Paul picks a number from the bag
then performs the operations that are shown in columns A and B. For column A, Paul would multiply the number by itself and then add 1. And for column B, Paul would double the number and then subtract 1. Now, from the information given, we are asked which of these statements would be correct. Take a second and look at this question. Can you spot the answer? Do you know how to get to the correct answer? If not, we will show you how. So, let us look carefully at the information given. We need to correctly interpret the question. What is it asking us to do? So, we can see that we have numbers 1 through 10 and we're asked to perform some operations on those numbers. In the first column, we would multiply the number by itself. So the same number that we draw, we would multiply it by itself and then add 1. And in column B, we would double that same number and then subtract 1. Very good. In order to get an idea of what would happen, I would actually try the operations on a few of the numbers. So we have a table with the numbers 1 through 4, and we're going to carry out the operations in column A and column B on those numbers. So for column A, we would multiply the number by itself and add 1. So for the number 1, that is the same as squaring the number and adding 1. So type in the chat what my answer would be for the number 1. Correct. The answer would be 2. And if I was squaring the number 2 and adding 1, what would be the answer? 5. And likewise, for 3, the answer would be 10, and for 4, the answer would be 17. Now, let's perform the operation in column B on the same set of numbers. So I'm going to double the number and then subtract 1. So for the number 1, our answer is 2 multiplied by 1. Notice I have put those numbers in brackets and then subtract 1. So the answer is 1. For 2, the answer is 3. For 3, the answer would work out to be 5. And for 4, the answer would work out to be 7. Now I invite you to look closely at those numbers. Let's look a bit more closely at our numbers. Can you see any pattern? What is happening to the numbers in the first column? And what is happening to the numbers in the second column? Which column has the greater numbers? Now, if this is a pattern, will it hold true for any number from 1 to 10? Now let us go back to our question. So, from what we have done earlier, we saw that there was a pattern where the numbers in column A happen to be greater than the numbers in column B. So, which of the statements would be correct? Exactly. The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing. The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing. The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing.
It's us. It's us. It's us.
The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing.
It's us. It's us. It's us.
The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing.
It's us. It's us. It's us.
The correct answer would be that the numbers in column A would be greater than that in column B. Good job, students. Keep on practicing.
It's us. It's us. Dr. Taylor Campbell, I don't know, quantitative reasoning has never been my Marlon. Why you have that look at me? You know something?
You don't have to say it. I know where you're heading.
Yes. Where am I heading?
I know when it comes on to mathematics.
Okay, so the truth is I language better than I math. All right. But
we can math out some things.
We can math out certain things, and we can math out, say, you know what, the strategies that we got here are real simple and easy to follow. And if perhaps if somebody had taught me these strategies earlier in life, I would be able to math better.
Yes.
You wouldn't have anything to laugh about. But we're gonna go to another trivia question. You ready, guys? So this one is for you, and of course, as usual, when you figure out the answer, you're gonna put it in the chat. And I'm looking out for my YouTubers now, because my YouTubers, they are lit on YouTube. So all right, this one is classification. You ready? So you're gonna listen up. Which word does not belong with the others? What is the cue in that? Which word does not belong with the others? I know I'm gonna give you the words. A, branch. B, dirt. C, leaf. Or D, root. Wow. Looking
Right
true,
stars,
over here in this true. Or a dance or a song or something to tell me what your answer is. And I want you to just bring camera over to them. Remember, you kind of shout out the word. I want you to come up with a movement or a song or a dance
or a mime.
You want drum the answer? You can't talk, so make sure when you drum it, may I hear the answer in your response on the drum. All right, so go through. Give them some music. Go ahead. It's movement, so when you're in a sound, you're in a sound.
You said he was gonna drum. So you're gonna drum it on the desk?
Drum it on the desk, man.
Yes.
Drum it on the desk. Me don't know the answer.
We don't know which letter that's.
Huh? You want to say it then? Alright, go on. Dirt? I know, so you show me dirt. Anybody else can show me dirt? Show me dirt. Hey!
How you doing? Everybody know this. Who make a small man watch this? But me know what this. Who me just watch this? I did brand new dance, me a teach it. If you a girl, just smile and show you them bad. Give them know all the thing that. Brand new dance is simple. Take with them, show them the thing that.
Yeah, Makida and Zoom. Yeah, Makida from Petrie Grove Primary.
Yeah.
Says dirt.
Dirt is her response?
Right. Also another one from Bonnet. I didn't get the first name.
Peyton Small on it.
Peyton Small from Bonnet says dirt as well.
Dirt as well.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So, all right. So we have dirt. You have something different? You have dirt? All right. So what I want from you in the studio is to tell me why you chose dirt. Have the mic. So you're going to pass the mic. Let me hear from young lady in the green. Tell me why you say dirt.
My name
Just stand up. You can stand up. Right.
I chose dirt.
Your name?
My name is Gianna Robinson, and I'm from Britain, Oklahoma.
It's ready.
I chose dirt because the other options are hard.
Your mic is not on, baby.
You have to
just press it.
Flip the switch something that it's green.
It's on? All right, just go ahead, baby girl.
Shout it out.
I chose dirt because the others are part of a tree.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have a different response? Share with you. Go ahead. Take the mic.
Beside you.
My response is that I chose dirt because branch, leaf, root is on the ground, but branch and leaf are on a tree. But if you think about it, it's a root is a part of a tree, and dirt is on the ground, and it's not a part of a tree.
Right.
So that's why I picked dirt.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Thank you. Good job, guys.
Nice.
All right. So when you see questions like these that ask about classification questions, what you would do is you think about what is similar about the options. What groups could they all be placed in? And then you look at which option is different.
Yeah.
So just like our friend said over there, remember me of your name, sweetheart? Jeremy.
And Gianna.
And Gianna. Just as Jeremy and Gianna pointed out for us, they were able to classify by looking at all the things that were similar about the options, and then obviously the one that is different would be our response. So everybody that got the dirt, where dirt go? Where dirt go? Where dirt go?
I know so.
Eh?
I know the first part.
Do the dirt. Dirt. Where you go? Where you go? Okay. All right. I'm not going to try.
Hey! How you doing? Everybody know this. Who make a small man what this? But me know what this. Who me just watch this? And the brand new dance me a teach it. If you
all right, wonderful. You know what? I feel very encouraged about what our PEP results will look like this year.
Yes.
I don't know if they just let out all of the children, them were just on fire. But I'm telling you, what I'm seeing in the YouTube chat, in the Zoom chat, what's happening here in set with us, on set in studio with us, it looks good for PEP 2023. All right.
It's a good look.
It's a good look. It's a good. I think they have the PEP in their step. All right.
All right, great. So we have another set of presentations that are to come as we, inch closer to the end of the program.
Right.
We have, and we're into verbal and quantitative reasoning, and with a focus on language arts, we have Mr. Bryan and Miss Young. Then we're going to be having Miss Bailey for mathematics, then Mrs. Finch Vassell for social studies, and Dr. Taylor Campbell for science.
So we're going to take them in that order, and then we are going to
Hello students, thank you for joining me for another fun and exciting language arts lesson. I'm your teacher, Mr. Jackson. Now today we'll be doing several practice activities to help us to prepare for the ability test. Be sure to have your pencils, notebooks and brains ready as we dive right into this lesson. Now remember, the ability test will have different types of questions testing your verbal reasoning skills. But today we will be focusing on the artificial language questions. So we know that we'll be doing activities that relate to the artificial language questions, but how will we know that we are successful? We will know that we are successful when we can honestly do these things. You should be able to honestly say yes to these I can statements. Number one, I can explain what an artificial language is. Number two, I can analyze rules and patterns in an artificial language. Number three, I can use rules and patterns to figure out words in an artificial language. And of course, number four, I can participate in this lesson from beginning to end. So an artificial language question will require you to analyze words based on an invented language and derive rules or patterns from them. You will then have to use these rules and patterns to figure out other words in this made-up language. Let's try an example. The words in bold come from an artificial language. You are to examine the meaning of each word and then answer the question that follows. Hyphonslock means full cup. Merslock means blue cup. Ruspock hyphon means landfill. So, which word could mean fill bottle? Is it slow crescent, hyphonsmal, small ruspock, or muscolet? Let's go that again. Hyphonslock means fill cup. Merslock means blue cup. Ruspock hyphon means landfill. So, which word could mean fill bottle? Is it slow crescent, hyphonsmal, or is it slow rushbuck, or is it muscolet? Now, to find this out, we have to break down the words in the artificial language into small parts to detect their pattern. So, in the word hyphonslock, we see that the word slock means cup. In the words merslock, we see that the word or the word part slock also means cup. So therefore we can say safely that S-L-O-K, slock, means cup in this artificial language. But if we continue to look further, we see that there are other parts that make up this artificial language. For example, hyphon. So wherever we see the word part hyphon, we know that it means fill, as in hyphonslock. Or ruspon hyphon, which means landfill. So which word could mean fill bottle? Is it slow crescent, hyphonsmal, small ruspock, or muscolet? Now, before we can move to the next question, let us examine even more closely. What would your answer be? All right, let us look at our answers again. Slow crescent, hyphonsmal, small ruspock, and muscolet. We know then that we're looking for the word that would possibly mean fill bottle. So we're looking for the word part that would mean fill. And which word part would mean fill here? That's right, the word part hyphons. So where we see hyphon, it means that we're referring to fill. Now, how many words in A, B, C, or D have the word parts hyphon? We only see one word, and that is option B, with the word part hyphon coming at the beginning of the word. And remember, hyphon here means fill. Is there any other word with the word part hyphon that could possibly mean fill in the option? No. What would our answer be? That's right. Our answer would be Letter B, or option B, high fun smell. Very good. Let us continue with another question. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Your job is to find out which word could mean cupcake. So here are the words. Pleka paki, paki hishelem, and tref talan. As we said, it is indeed an artificial language. So pleka paki means fruitcake. Paki hishelen means cakewalk. And tref talan means buttercup. So, which word could mean cupcake? Remember, you are to ask yourselves these questions. Which word part means cup? Let us examine carefully. Remember, we're looking for the word part that would mean cup. Have you seen the word part that would mean cup? That's right. The word part that would mean cup is alan, A-L-A-N. Now, which word part could possibly mean cake? That's right. Paki could mean cake. So, based on this question, which word could possibly mean cupcake? That's right. The word that could mean cupcake is option D, Alan Paki, A-L-A-N-P-A-K-I. Good job, boys and girls. Now, here's another example. The question is, here are some words translated from an artificial language. So, moolacorn means blue sky, Wilco-spady means bicycle race, and Moola-Wilco means blue bicycle. Which word could mean race car? Is it Wilcoswet? Is it Spady Wilco? Is it Moola Breel? Or is it Spady Volo? Let's examine the word parts. As you are examining the word parts, remember to ask yourselves these questions. Which word part means, and which word part means? So we're looking for the word part that would mean race in this case. Let us go back to the words that were given at the top of the question. So we see here that the word spady actually means race. How do we know that? If we examine the word Wilco-spady, we see then that pady represents race, while Wilcos represents bicycle. So, which word could mean race car? Is it A, Wilcoswet, Spady Wilco, which is B, Moola Braille, which is C, or Spady Volo, which is option D? That's right. Our answer would be Spady Volo. Good job. Well, boys and girls, it's that time again to check what we have learned from the activities. Can you honestly say yes to these I can statements? I can explain what an artificial language is. I can analyze rules and patterns in an artificial language. I can use rules and patterns to figure out other words in an artificial language. And of course, can you participate in this lesson from beginning to end? If you can answer yes to all these I can statements, well, then guess what? It's time to have our, you guessed it, 1 minute party. Are you ready to bust out your best dance move? I'm sure you are, because I am. Are you ready? Let's go. 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party. Good job. May not have been a minute, but I'm sure you enjoyed it nonetheless. Well, that's all the time that we have for today's lesson. Join me next time for another fun and exciting language arts lesson. See you soon.
Hello, students. Welcome to our mathematics session. I am your facilitator, Denise Bailey. Today, we will look at a question from the mathematics component of the Primary Exit Profile PEP Ability Test. Here is a question for you. The puzzle pieces show a pattern.
Can you identify the missing number from the third pair of puzzle pieces? Is the answer A, 16/17, B, 2, C, 23/4, or D, 8? Can you just look at the question and make a selection? This question tests our ability to use reasoning to identify a rule or a pattern. Let us go through it together. When you look at the first pair of puzzle pieces, what concepts come to mind? Well, we see the digit 3 on one of the puzzle pieces, and we also see the digit 3 in 3/4 on the next puzzle piece. So we think of a whole number as well as a fraction. We can also think of number operations. That is a start. But do you have enough information to decipher the pattern and make a selection? We must now analyze the next term in the pattern. What is the possible relationship here? What is the relationship between the two digits 4 and 1? How is this pair of puzzle pieces different from the first? I hope that you would have seen that in this pair of puzzle pieces, we now have whole numbers. Again, we can make an assumption. We can assume that both whole numbers may be used in an operation, but what of the idea of fractions as was identified in the first pair of puzzle pieces? Let us now analyze both pairs of puzzle pieces. What relationship can you uncover if we were to look at both sets of puzzle pieces as a whole? And how are the two pieces of information related? To answer these, we would have to think about a topic or a strand or a concept that was previously taught. Are you seeing a relationship when you look at both sets of puzzles as a whole? If the digit 3 represents the numerator in 3/4 in the first pair of puzzle pieces, then what is the relationship between the digit 4 and the digit 1 in the second pair of puzzle pieces? How do you justify that answer? I hope you saw that the digit 4 represents the numerator in a fraction that is equivalent to 1. Do you know what that fraction is? A fraction with a numerator of 4 that is equivalent to 1 is 4/4 or 4/4. How will you use this information to find the missing term in the pair of puzzle pieces? Let us apply our reasoning. The original question was, now this is what it becomes after our analysis. For the first term, the digit 3 represents the numerator and the digit 4 represents the denominator. The second term is now written with the digit 4 representing the numerator and the digit 4 representing the denominator. What do you believe would be the numerator and the denominator for the last pair of puzzle pieces? You are correct if you said the numerator would be represented by the digit 8 and the denominator would be represented by the digit 4. Let us now revisit the question. From our analysis, we saw that 8/4 would complete the last pair of puzzle pieces. Do you see 8/4 when you review the possible responses? No, we do not. Again, we may need to think about a related concept if we are to make the correct selection. What are the possible related concepts? What about equivalent fractions or improper fractions? Renaming fractions. We could use information previously taught from any of these concepts to help us make the correct selection. Are you now able to make a selection? You are correct if you had selected B as your answer. Can you tell the relationship between 8/4 and 2? I hope you were able to follow along as we figured out this question together. Well, that is all we have for right now. But until next time, keep practicing. Hello, students.
Hi there, boys and girls. We will be using some of the concepts we learned about in social studies to develop our thinking skills. Let's go. We will be looking at a category of thinking skills called classification. A classification is a grouping of objects based on similarities or a set of rules. This simply means that things that are grouped together must have something in common. Come join me and let's do a question together. Which one does not belong to this group? Sunshine, latitude, wind, rainfall. Which one does not belong? To answer this question, we have to figure out what is common to 3 of these words. Let's think. Sunshine, wind, and rainfall are all related to the weather. They are actually elements of weather. When the meteorologist is reporting on weather conditions, he talks about the wind, rainfall, and sunshine, but he does not mention latitude. Latitude is not an element of weather, so latitude must be the one that does not belong. Now, boys and girls, how did we arrive at the answer latitude? We looked at all 4 things and then figured out the one thing that they have in common. Sunshine, wind, and rainfall are all elements of weather. That's what they have in common. Hi there, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to our PEP Ability Test preparation session. We're looking at quantitative reasoning under the category of data analysis. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, this is a question that we have been given. A survey was done and 40 grade 6 students were asked about their favorite sport. And so from the information gathered, no more than 10 students chose volleyball. More students chose football as their favorite sport than the number of students who chose volleyball. More students chose track and field as their favorite sport than football and volleyball together. We're also given some charts to represent that information and asked which chart best represents the information gathered from the survey.
How would we approach this question? Let's see how you would do it. Can you spot the answer? Well, we will show you how. So let us look more closely at the information that was collected from the survey. And we need to correctly interpret the information that is given. So we could simply record that information in a table. And so, based on the information, we're told that no more than 10 students chose volleyball. So if we were writing a number for volleyball, we would say, well, 10 or less students would choose volleyball. Now, what about football? How does that compare to volleyball based on the information collected? Well, more students chose football than volleyball. So the number for football would be greater than volleyball. Now, what about track and field? How would that compare? Information says more students choose track and field as their favorite sport and football and volleyball together. So how would that look in our table? Well, more students would choose track and field than as their favorite sport than football and volleyball together. So how would that look in our table? Well, more students would choose track and field than football and volleyball. So if we were ordering this information, which do you think would be the smallest and which would be the largest? Type your answers in the chat. Which would be the smallest? Certainly, volleyball would be smallest, and track and field would represent the largest group. Now let us look at the diagrams given, because the diagrams need to represent the same information that we came up with in the table. So let's look at the first chart. What information can we obtain from these diagrams? In the first chart, we can see that volleyball, as represented in that circle, would occupy the largest portion or the largest fraction, then football, and then track and field. Would this be the same information that we were given in the survey? What about chart 2? We see here that the largest portion is represented by which sport? Right, football. Then track and field, and then volleyball is the smallest. Now let's look at chart 3. Which is the largest portion? That from track and field. Then football is next, and volleyball is the smallest. And chart 4, track and field is the largest portion, then volleyball and football is the smallest. Now we need to compare the information in these charts to what we found in the table. Let us compare the information given in the charts and that was given in the tables. Which of these would match that information? So we are looking for a chart that shows track and field being the largest group or largest fraction and volleyball being the smallest fraction, with football larger than volleyball. So which of these charts would represent or match that information? I hope you saw the answer. So what is the correct answer? Which chart shows that track and field is the largest portion, followed by football, then volleyball being the smallest portion? Which chart best represents the information from the survey? Chart 3. I hope you got that answer. Excellent job, students. I know you will do well on your examinations. Then volleyball being the smallest portion. Which chart best represents the information from the survey? Chart 3. I hope you got that answer. Excellent job, students. I know you will do well on your examinations. Then volleyball being the smallest portion. Which chart best represents the information from the survey? Chart 3. I hope you got that answer. Excellent job, students. I know you will do well on your examinations. Then volleyball being the smallest portion. Which chart best represents the information from the survey? Chart 3. I hope.
Ready.
All right. So we have come to the end of our PEP Camp 2023. All right. However, can't end without doing a little activity with you and for you. So I know you guys can come. We'll be talking about quantitative movement and all the other sorts.
Yes.
So we're going to play a little game just to test out our skill and set, if we are able to think on our feet, if we are able to reason critically,
yes,
and have fun at the same time.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to call a game. What's the name of the game?
1 and 20.
1 and 20. It's a game called 1 and 20. Very, very simple. And you can try it, teachers, with your students in your classroom. Parents at home, they can try it. So we're going to have some fun, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes. The game is simple. All we're doing is counting from 1 to 100. And of course, we're going to be doing some moving parts. Once we get to 100, the person that is without a partner, so right now I don't have a partner, I have to find one. So the person without a partner at 100 is the person that has lost the game.
And buy us lunch.
And that person has to buy lunch.
My pocket is empty.
You mean your pocket is empty?
Empty.
Don't lose. All right, so we're going to go.
Ready?
Ready? 5, 6, 7, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1 and 20, 2 and 20, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 20, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1 and 30, 2 and 30, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 20, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1 and 40, 2 and 40, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 20, 47, 48, 57, 58, 59, 60, 1 and 60, 2 and 58, 59, 70, 1 and 70, 2 and 70.
Don't stop. Let's go. Ready for PEP? It is a disaster. Not exactly ready for PEP.
Yes.
It's fine. We can do it again.
Yes.
We have time.
After hurricane passes.
You feel like it's after hurricane passing? All right. But anyway, guys, let us just thank our boys and girls from Greater Port.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Everyone, that remember the PEP, it's a breeze. Once you think about the qualitative and the quantitative reasoning, once you're able to do that, then you have nothing to worry about. Remember too, that while you're preparing, it is important important that you are engaged in physical activities, like we said in the process. It is very important that you listen to some music, whatever music you like. Listen to that, ensure that you play some games, have fun, and at the same time remember that the nutrition is also important. Ensure that you are not hungry, you have something to eat while you are preparing. Listen, when we listened to the studio audience and when we looked at what you placed in the chat, we realized that you are all brilliant students. You are ready for PEP. So tell you what, don't worry.
All the best, everyone. Thanks for joining.